Cooking a whole lamb, it's a big job, but don't worry, you can do it. Imagine your friends and family, they smell the amazing lamb. Everyone is hungry, ready to enjoy your cooking. This is a special meal, let's get started. Cooking a whole lamb is more than just a recipe, it's an experience. You'll learn new skills in the kitchen, and the taste? Forget about it, it's amazing. So are you ready for this cooking adventure? Let's do it! First things first, we need ingredients. For the lamb you want a good size. Ask your butcher for help choosing. Now, let's talk flavor. We need garlic, lots of it. Fresh rosemary and thyme are next. Don't forget salt and pepper. And a good olive oil is key. We'll use lemons too for a bright taste. Some people like a bit of spice. If that's you, grab some chili flakes. Remember, fresh ingredients are best. They make the lamb taste even better. Got everything? Good. Let's move on to the next step. Now let's get that lamb ready. First, give it a good rinse. Pat it dry with paper towels. We want a nice, clean lamb for cooking. Next, grab your garlic. Peel those cloves and give them a rough chop. We want big chunks of garlic flavor. Time for the herbs. Strip the rosemary and thyme leaves from their stems. Give them a good chop too. Now we're going to mix those herbs with the garlic. Add a generous amount of salt and pepper. Don't be shy. Mix it all up with your hands. Remember that mix we just made? That's our flavor bomb. This blend of herbs and spices is the secret to transforming a simple piece of meat into a culinary masterpiece. Each ingredient in this mix has been carefully selected to bring out the best in our dish. The aroma alone is enough to make your mouth water, but wait until you taste it. Rub it all over the lamb. Don't be shy. You want to make sure every inch of the meat is covered. This is where the magic happens. The spices will penetrate the meat, infusing it with layers of flavor that will make every bite a delight. Get every nook and cranny. Pay special attention to the crevices and folds. These are the spots where the seasoning can really settle in and work its magic. Think of it as giving the lamb a flavorful massage. The more thorough you are, the better the end result will be. We want that flavor to really sink in. The goal is to make sure that every bite of the lamb is bursting with the rich aromatic flavors of our spice mix. This step is crucial for achieving that deep savory taste that will have everyone coming back for seconds. Now drizzle that good olive oil all over the lamb. Olive oil not only adds its own subtle flavor, but also helps to lock in the moisture. This ensures that the lamb stays juicy and tender as it cooks. This will help it crisp up in the oven. The olive oil will create a beautiful golden brown crust on the outside of the lamb, adding a delightful texture to each bite. It's the perfect finishing touch to our preparation. Once your lamb is nice and coated, we let it rest. This is called marinating. Marinating allows the flavors to meld together and penetrate the meat more deeply. It's a step that requires patience, but the payoff is well worth it. Put the lamb in a container. Make sure it's a container that can be sealed tightly. This will help to keep all those wonderful flavors locked in while the lamb marinates. Cover it tightly and pop it in the fridge. The cold temperature will slow down the marinating process, allowing the flavors to develop gradually. This slow infusion is what makes the meat so flavorful and tender. Let it sit for at least a few hours. Overnight is even better. The longer you let the lamb marinate, the more intense the flavors will become. If you can, let it sit for a full 24 hours. Trust me, the wait will be worth it. The longer it sits, the more flavorful it gets. This is the secret to achieving that deep, rich taste that makes marinated dishes so special. So be patient and let the flavors work their magic. When it's finally time to cook, you'll be rewarded with a dish that's bursting with flavor in every bite. Section 5. The roasting ritual begins into the fiery depths. This is where the magic happens, where raw ingredients transform into a succulent feast. Today, we embark on a culinary journey that will take us deep into the heart of roasting perfection. Oven time. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius. This temperature is crucial for achieving that perfect balance of a crispy exterior and a tender, juicy interior. While it's heating up, take the lamb out of the fridge. This step is essential because you want the lamb to start cooking at a more even temperature, which helps in achieving a consistent roast. Let it come to room temperature. This usually takes about 30 minutes to an hour, depending on the size of your lamb. Allowing the meat to rest ensures that it cooks more evenly and retains its juices. This helps it cook evenly. An even cook means that every bite will be as delicious as the last, with no dry or undercooked spots. Now, Grab a roasting pan and place the lamb inside. Make sure the pan is large enough to accommodate the lamb comfortably, allowing heat to circulate around it. Pour some water or stock into the bottom of the pan. This liquid will create steam during the cooking process, which helps in keeping the lamb moist and tender. This will keep the lamb moist as it cooks. You can also add aromatics like garlic, rosemary or thyme to the liquid for an extra layer of flavor. Now into the oven it goes. Place the roasting pan on the middle rack to ensure even heat distribution. The cooking time depends on the size of your lamb. Larger cuts will naturally take longer, so it's important to monitor the internal temperature. A good rule of thumb is about 25 minutes per pound. However, always use a meat thermometer to check for doneness. The internal temperature should reach about 145 degrees Fahrenheit for medium rare, or 160 degrees for medium. Halfway through the cooking process, baste the lamb with its own juices. This adds flavor and helps in keeping the meat moist. When the lamb reaches the desired internal temperature, remove it from the oven. Let it rest for at least 15 minutes before carving. This resting period allows the juices to redistribute throughout the meat, making each slice incredibly juicy and flavorful. Carve the lamb into slices and serve it with your favorite sides. Whether it's roasted vegetables, mashed potatoes, or a fresh salad, this lamb will be the star of your meal. And there you have it, a perfectly roasted lamb that's sure to impress. Enjoy the fruits of your labor and savor every bite. Section 6. The dance of doneness. Checking for that perfect roast. Remember, we want a perfectly cooked lamb. Nobody wants dry meat. Achieving that perfect roast is an art and a science combined. It's about understanding the nuances of temperature, texture, and timing. So, how do we check for doneness? There are several methods to ensure your lamb is cooked to perfection, each with its own merits. A meat thermometer is your best friend. This handy tool takes the guesswork out of cooking and gives you precise control over the doneness of your meat. Stick it into the thickest part of the lamb. This is crucial because the thickest part will take the longest to cook, ensuring that the entire roast is evenly done. The internal temperature should be 145 degrees Fahrenheit or 63 degrees Celsius for medium rare. This temperature ensures that the lamb is juicy and tender, with just the right amount of pink in the center. Another way to check is by pressing on the meat. This method is more intuitive and relies on your sense of touch. It should feel firm, not mushy. A firm texture indicates that the proteins have coagulated properly, giving the meat a satisfying bite. If you're unsure, it's always better to slightly undercook it. Undercooked meat can always be cooked further, but overcooked meat is a lost cause. You can always pop it back in the oven if needed. Remember, patience is key. Cooking is a process that cannot be rushed. Allow the meat to rest after cooking, as this lets the juices redistribute, making for a more flavorful and tender roast. Once your lamb has reached the perfect temperature and texture, it's time to carve. Use a sharp knife to make clean, even slices. Notice the beautiful pink center and the golden brown crust. Serve your perfectly roasted lamb with your favorite sides and watch as your guests marvel at your culinary skills. The effort you put into checking for doneness will pay off in every delicious bite. The joy of cooking is in the details, and mastering the art of the perfect roast is a rewarding experience. So take your time, trust your tools, and enjoy the process. Happy roasting! Section 7. The art of carving. Presenting the lamb with finesse. Your lamb is cooked to perfection. The aroma is filling the kitchen. Amazing! But before we dig in, we need to carve this masterpiece. Let the lamb rest for about 30 minutes before carving. This allows the juices to redistribute. Use a sharp carving knife and a carving fork. Start by removing the legs. Then slice the meat against the grain. You want nice, even slices. Don't forget to arrange the lamb on a platter. Presentation is everything. Section 8. Side dish symphony, complementing your lamb masterpiece. We've got the star of the show. Now let's talk sides. Roasted vegetables are always a winner. Potatoes, carrots, and onions go great with lamb. A simple green salad adds a refreshing touch. And don't forget the mint sauce. It's a classic pairing for a reason. You can also serve your lamb with couscous or rice. Get creative and have fun with it. Choose sides that you and your guests will love. Section 9. A feast to remember, savoring the fruits of your labor. There you have it. You've cooked a whole lamb. That's something to be proud of. Now gather your friends and family. It's time to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Pour yourself a glass of wine, sit back and savor every bite. Cooking a whole lamb is an experience that brings people together. It's about sharing good food and creating memories that will last a lifetime. So, go on, dig in and enjoy.